Put it out there and let me bring it closer to the bank. There we go. And that's how you do it. Fish on. Little small one. Come on, calm down. All right, let's see if we can get us another one. I'm going for pan-sized bluegill today. And I'm gonna try several different techniques to get them. I bought some trout magnets. See if I can get them on those later on if they stop biting these worms. Fish on. Got another one. So far I'm off to a pretty good start. That's two. I heard something splash up on the bank earlier and I turned my head, it was gone. Now I realized what it was a snake. I just saw him. Not sure what kind it is though. Let's get this closer. There's a little brush up under there. And I'm getting close by. I don't want to get any fish tangled up in there. As soon as they hit, that's the first place they run to. Look like we getting a bite. Fish on. That one swallowed that hook. All right, that last fish swallowed my hook, so I had to retie. I put a chartreuse jig head on here this time, and I'm fishing just a little bit more shallower. See what I can do. These are some pretty good fish to eat. As a matter of fact, they're my favorite. A lot of people choose crappie over bluegill, but in my opinion, I think bluegill tastes a lot better. And they're easy to catch. And I hear a lot of people that try to figure out where to get the big ones from, and they're out there, and more than likely they're in your local area. You just basically need to just do some research and then just kind of work that bank. You can be in one area and just catch a whole bunch of little small ones, and then go a few feet or hit a different location, and there's some giants there because they're not really migrating with those smaller ones. So, and sometimes they're mixed in there. Fish on. Did it get me hung? I think he got me hung. Another thing also is that these fish are not that deep. They're only about 3 to 5 feet deep right off the bank. So thinking you got to throw out in the center of the lake to catch big bluegill is not always the case. Something took my line down there and ran with it and popped it real quick. I didn't have my drag set, so let's see if they come back. They hit it pretty hard too. Fish on. I just lost him. All right, let's see if we can get him again. There we go. That's a nice one. It's a nice one there. If you're not already a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you like my content, catching these big bluegill off the bank, hit that like button and share it with your friends or any other fishing enthusiasts out there that you know of. It'll help me out a lot. I'm trying to get my subscribers up now to 1,000. So right now I'm at about a little bit over 400. So if you can help me out, that'll be a blessing to me. Fish on. Oh, that's a big shell cracker. I didn't know we had shell cracker in here. Look at that big old shell cracker. It's the first one I caught out of here. I didn't know we had them in here. Big boy. That was a nice shell crack I just pulled up, and a big surprise too, because I didn't know shell cracker were in here. I mean, I should assume that they were, but still, it's a good surprise. When I found this place, I was excited because it had some big copper nose in here, and then recently I started catching some red breast in here, which was a blessing also because I don't have to travel anywhere further to try to get, those two different species. And now knowing that there's shell cracker in here also, that's all three species that I'm looking for in one place. I just got to figure out how to target those shell cracker though, because what I don't want is to you know, just try to catch them by chance. But that was a blessing. The good Lord showed me that there's shell crack in here too. There you go, another big boy. These gloves are so slippery. Oh, got one on there. Smallest one of the day, and he almost took my rod. I went to go get me a drink. Come on, calm down. Calm down. There we go. First one. Nice little brim. Yeah, back in the water, self-release. Okay, I'm using a super tiny jig head right now, real small. And what I did was I took a Barbie Garland plastic, and I pretty much cut it in half and mashed it up with a small um, size number 10 hook, but it's on a 1/64 ounce jig head. There we go. That's a nice one right there. Pretty good. There we go. And that's how you do it. That's how you get them. Nice. They're slippery with these gloves on. Let's get them. Let's get them. There we go. Missed them. They're taking that worm off there. Let me see if they're hitting the worm. They're going after the worm or the jig. Then we're going to try something different. Got a power bait up there. Let's see. Oh, they hitting that jig. There we go. Not quite a monster, but he's take on. They love that. Take it a little bit deeper. They definitely love that. That's always been my secret go-to. I guess it's not a secret anymore. There we go. Got away from him, and that hook stuck me too. Luckily it came out. I'm gonna have to bring it back up a little bit. I want another foot deeper in the bite stop. There we go. It's a bass. Try to grab him without getting hooked again. These gloves are so slippery. With that gulp, chartreuse, and white minnow, you can pretty much put it on one of these little tiny trap magnet bobbers and just let it work itself. There's enough wind and enough current going right now to where it's just bouncing that jig right up under that bobber and making it look live, giving it a little bit of action. There we go. Missed him. There we go. Nice bluegill. So I'm switching up on them now. Now I have a live worm on here. Red worm. And I'm gonna go just a little bit deeper, see what I catch. And if need be, I'm gonna go and let that red worm sit on the bottom. He hit that as soon as it hit the bottom. That's a red breast right there. So the red breasts are sitting at the bottom, even though he's quite close to the edge. He's a small one, so I'm gonna throw him back. And now we're sitting on the bottom. He's a nice one. Is that a bluegill? Yeah, that's a nice one there. Still not the giant. We're gonna go shallow again. That's where the big boys were. Yep. Big boys are shallow. So sir. This little red breast. And another one. Yeah, we getting them now off that gulp. Bluegill. Yeah, I caught a few. And a nice one. Fish on. Another keeper. Red breast. A nice red breast. A little small one. Got him on this gulp minnow. It's like a big drum. Yep. Big drum. Come down. These gloves I got on are so slippery. There we go. Yeah, this is a whopper right here. Whopper flopper. Don't pop this hook. That was a big boy. And he started, oh, we'll go another one. Let's go another one. Yeah, about time. Big boy right there. North Texas, this is how we get them. I got that little tiny trout magnet bobber on there, very tiny bobber, so I can detect those slight bites. These big fish, believe it or not, you can barely feel a bite sometimes. Smaller fish, they try to snatch it. These bigger fish, they just kind of take it and cruise with it real slow. Smaller one. I'm gonna throw him back. Tell you what, I gotta go back to my standard red and black gloves. These gloves right here, the material they're made out of are real slippery. The fish are slippery and they make it twice as slippery, and so these fish are just moving around and sticking me with those fins. All right, see if I can get another one for the cooler. About 2 feet.